Hello, how are you guys doing? I hope that you guys are having a great Wednesday or Thursday. I don't know what day it is. I've been up all night. I'm just so excited about the things that the Most High is doing, and He's speaking to me about some things and revealing things to me. And when He's doing this with me, you see my eyes. I'm like up and not tired at all. It's about 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'm just excited about what the Most High is doing. I want to take a little bit of time to talk to you guys about a terminology that I'm seeing being used online regarding the presentation of the gospel. Okay, there's this terminology that I've never heard before, and you guys have probably heard it. It's called labeling performing acts of giving and helping people, labeling it a social gospel. And I understand the people who started using this terminology. I understand exactly what they're talking about. I do believe that at some point in church, throughout church history, things in the church kind of started veering off from the spiritual needs of the people to seeing to the needs, the natural, physical needs of the people. And in the process of trying to minister to the physical needs of people, and their very real needs, the spiritual has somehow been removed from the gospel. Until now, we are dealing collectively with a church that is carnal, a church that can't hear from the Most High, and they cannot receive the word of the Most High. So I understand why there are people that's calling the gospel that's in a lot of churches and that's being pushed and supported and funded is called the social gospel. And I understand the dangers of presenting just a social gospel. But I don't want us to lose sight of the fact that part of the full gospel, part of sound doctrine, the entire doctrine that is the message of the kingdom, has everything, not everything, but it has some things to do with ministering to the physical needs of people. In other words, the gospel of the kingdom is not just about how we are born again. How do we get saved? How do we get delivered? How do we stay delivered? You understand? But once we are delivered, once we are saved, once we are born again, and not necessarily in that order, and then once we find out and learn how to stay delivered, the Most High Yah is concerned about the physical needs of His people. So it is a part of the gospel. And we have to be careful that we start neglecting the physical needs of people because we're trying to attain spirituality. We're trying to regain spirituality in the church because we recognize that carnality is rampant in the church. We recognize the lack of spirituality and the lack of spiritual maturity in what is called the church. But extricating the ministry of meeting the physical needs of people is not going to magnify the spiritual, because now you're being neglectful. If you go to Matthew 25, the thing or the things that's going to cause religious people to go to hell is not because they had the right doctrine. Please understand that. And I pray that you hear what I'm trying to say to you. It's not going to be because they were baptized the right way. Huh? It's not going to be because they were filled with the Ruach HaKodesh, what some call the Holy Ghost. It's not going to be because they are a part of the right assembly or church or fellowship or denomination. No. It's not going to be that. The things that are going to keep people out of heaven is going to be because they refuse to minister to the physical needs of the hungry. They refuse to minister to the physical needs of the naked. They refuse to minister to the physical needs of prisoners. They forgot about the prisoners. They refuse to minister to the physical needs of the homeless. Those are the things. You go read it in Matthew 25. The physical needs of poor people, because it's going to be poor people that's going to need housing. It's poor people that need food. It's poor people that need clothes. And yes, prisoners are poor people. And they need all of that. Plus they need engagement. They need to know, hey, we haven't forgotten about you. We know that you committed a crime, but we still love you. We're still rooting for you. And we're praying for you. It's refusing to minister to the physical needs of the people that's going to keep people out of heaven. And a lot of people don't believe the word, even though it's right there front and center. But the word is nonetheless still the word. We don't make the church more spiritual by denying the needs of the physical. We minister to the entire man. Spiritual, physical, financial, emotional, mental. And that's when the kingdom has been made known and presented to people. The kingdom of the Most High Yah. And if all of those needs are not met, and all of those points and factors in people's lives are not being ministered to, then you are not presenting the gospel of the kingdom to the people, and you're keeping them in bondage. We have to get away from labeling, it's just a social gospel. The social gospel is a part of the entire gospel of the kingdom. Yes. The word talks about practicing justly. And the word talks about dispensing justice. So the social gospel, as you call it, is a part of the gospel of the kingdom. Read your word line upon line, precept upon precept. Here a little, there a little. Don't throw away the social gospel. And it means don't throw away the social gospel because you're trying to be super spiritual and don't want to minister to the physical, natural needs of the people and of the community. And I hate to say it, but I believe that this is happening and has happened because there are a lot of selfish people in the world that want to close their eyes to the very real needs of people around them. You know, the word talks about when somebody comes to you and they have a need, and you have it to give to them. And you can help, you can minister to them, not by laying hands on them and speaking in tongues. And you got $1,000, $100 in your billfold, and you could just break it out and bless that person. And you won't even miss it. But because you would rather keep it to yourself to do what you want to do, you will ignore the needs of people that are really in need. And you will turn around and even demonize what you call a social gospel, and demonize those who need ministry in a very physical way, in a financial way. You will demonize that. You will demonize them instead of doing what the word says. The word says, the word, not Winona, but the word says that it is more blessed to give than it is to receive. But how many people you hear, oh, it's a social gospel. Don't follow that. Oh, you're talking about socialism. What is socialism? The culture of the early church was socialism. But you don't hear that taught today. And that's wrong. You're selfish. Stop ignoring the needs of people and minister to them in the only way you can minister to them, which is to give. 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 Give of your money. Give of your resources. Give of your time. If you can help somebody get a job, give of your jobs. Give of your homes. Give your cars. Give. It shall be given unto you. Pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Father, y'all help us to not throw away any portion of your gospel. And help us to know what it is that we're supposed to be doing in this hour. In the name of Yahushua HaMashiach. Amen.